What is up, guys? It is Flash back with some more charts in another video. Today, it's Monday. We're going to go through a few tickers and talk about kind of what's happening in the broader market. Weeks gone by since we last looked at these. So I think we're going to zoom in on the weekly today for the most part. And starting off with the S&P, um, if this is a valid channel or at the top of the channel, I would expect a move sideways or down from here. That's just kind of what I'm feeling. That's that. Nasdaq, similar picture. Some type of rising wedge here. I'm not really sure what it is. It's tough to kind of put some lines around it. But if we zoom way out, we are at the top of this multi-channel, I guess you could call it. So. Again, really depends on what NVIDIA is going to do, and we'll get to NVIDIA in a second, but I want to go through some of the broader indices here. We go to the Russell, kind of been playing around with this chart a little bit. We have we're underneath resistance, both from sideways and horizontal, so I think we still have some work to do in the Russell. It does look like it's consolidating. Whether this is a bull flag or not, I'm not sure, but let's see if we can break through here. But the way the S&P and Nasdaq look, I think this will come down. This kind of looks like a bear flag to me. So down, sideways, and then down again. We'll see. Over to gold, looks pretty good. Again, it's just hanging out up here. It's just holding its weight, holding its own. I think kind of waiting for whether it's interest rates or inflation numbers to come out. I'm not sure, but I think gold has everything priced into it, so we're gonna see what it's doing. But when you're hanging out at all-time highs, I would say that's a bullish, more bullish than bearish. Next up is silver. A little bit of a down day today, down 1.8%. I would say it's still coiling, still tightening, and I personally think we're gonna get an explosive move upwards. Just really a matter of time. Again, gold, silver, kind of in a holding pattern, a waiting game until the right economic conditions allow it to break out or break down. Over to oil futures. This chart is always a little wonky because of the spike low, but I put another similar bull in this, so we'll see if this holds up or not. But it's definitely hanging in there. Oil, gold, silver, I kind of all have them in the same bucket of inflation and assets underneath these tickers will I think do well in the coming years, possibly decade. Bitcoin actually had a huge day today, up 5.6%, coming into the top of this dome. Not sure if this dome is going to hit. I'm sure. A lot of people are expecting this to continue rising. So we'll see. But it's breaking out of this rising upwards channel, which I would consider a bear flag, honestly. But if we're breaking to the upside of this, I don't know. I'm just kind of inclined to say that we're closer to the end than we are the beginning in the bull market. But we'll see. If the S&P, the Nasdaq, the Dow Jones, if these all want to do another leg up, Bitcoin will join them. I'm confident in that. So just kind of like to see if this is going to play out or not. This dome, this bear channel, we'll see. Back to another broader indice is the RSP, S&P equal weight ETF. Like sometimes we'll look at this just to kind of get a pulse on the broader market. You can look at the Russell or the RSP for that. So the smaller caps and then the equal weight. This is not making a higher high yet, like the S&P is, which I think is being held up by NVIDIA personally. But again, in a similar rising channel, got some resistance, all-time highs to get through. We're slogging our way through that right now, and we'll see if it can hold up or not. I just have a bearish tone here, and I'm not quite sure why, but that's just kind of what the charts, again, the puzzle pieces are telling me. Can zoom in on the VIX here. I've got kind of marked out a little bit of a channel here, broadening structure of some sort. So we'll see if this holds and if we get another bounce. I'm not sure, but kind of interesting to follow along with the VIX. Over to URA, I'm a big uranium guy, uranium fan. We'll see if this is a bullish engulfing or not. I don't know. We got a bounce today. We're going to zoom in on the weekly. Here's the new week of the 26th of February. Nice bounce so far. We can zoom in on the daily. Again, kind of a broadening structure here. Not exactly sure, but I would like to see us get over this line. This is kind of monthly resistance. So I'd like to see that line hold, and maybe we can play with it a little bit, but again, a general area there. So maybe we could put in, some sort of channel. I'd like this to hold, honestly. So we'll see. We'll see. It's doing what it's doing, right? And okay, over to Nvidia, because this is what everyone's talking about. I think if Nvidia is going to keep going, it's going to stay in this trend line. But if it's going to break down, it's going to break down, right? So that, I think, will tell us what the S&P is going to do in the short term, if this bounces and continues higher, or if this breaks down. But zooming in on the daily here, we still have, this isn't until June of 2024 if this were to go sideways. So I don't know, it's hard to say. But if we pull up some of the momentum indicators, so distance percentage away from the moving average, I'll put the moving average on. We're kind of getting into overheated territory. So when the stock gets this high, 200% above its moving average on the monthly time frame, that's usually where we could maybe look for a correction, or maybe a cooling, a consolidation phase. We'll see. Same thing on the weekly, but this can still, if we go back to the monthly, this can still continue to rise. For example, it reached it here back in December of 2016, but then you see it still continued to rise. The moving average caught up with it, and it still continued to rise, and then we saw a correction. So see, yeah, the momentum was breaking down before that correction even happened. So this will kind of tell us when Nvidia is ready to stop. Another stock that I would consider as part of the broader market, obviously, is Nike, and this is another one that Patrick Karim tweeted out. I think it was this morning, but this is like a 40-year trend line, and it is breaking down. It broke down back in July of 2022, and now it's just kind of, I would say, it's bear flagging. Throw the Ichimoku on here, and that really tells you something. Like, when this thing breaks down, of the Ichimoku, it never really has. Maybe a little bit in the early 2000s here, but I mean, this is starting to look very shaky. So I don't know. Again, it's kind of a sign. It's part of the puzzle. It's all of this stuff is interconnected, I think. And then to add on to that, let's look at Google again. I keep bringing up Google, but this is also kind of making me think we're topping a little bit, or going to go sideways for a little bit in the broader market. Like Google, it's such a massive market cap stock. I know they're in the news about AI and this and that, but they're a huge part of the market, the broader market. You could even argue that this is breaking down as we speak. I don't know. I had this on the monthly, so maybe I'll leave it as I had it for now, but like, this is kind of it in a nutshell. That's double top written to me. So we'll see. Good to keep an eye on it on the weekly. If you guys like this analysis, give me a like. Feel free to subscribe, and I'll continue putting some cool videos out for you. Got some more uranium plays looking for this week, so I'll get those out and see what you guys think. All right. See you guys in the next one. Bye.